is Rachel and welcome to a quick stretch for your hips and hamstrings. We're going to get started right away. All you need is a mat and an optional 2 blocks. We'll just tuck those up towards the top so they're handy when we need them. Let's get started in a tabletop position today. So coming down to all fours, hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll just start bumping the hips left and right, maybe peeking over the shoulder, finding a little stretch through the side body. And just starting to move through the hips a little bit. Great, let's take one more full breath. And then bringing the spine back to neutral, right toes tuck, extending back through that leg. Let's find a couple shifts forward and backwards here. Getting a little stretch through the ankles, the calf, as well as the wrists as you shift forward, moving the shoulders just past. Great, last 3. Last 2. And last 1. Slowing those shifts to a stop, stepping the right foot just over to the left, peeking over the left shoulder, finding a stretch through the right side body. One more full breath here. And with the next inhale, right leg picks up to extend behind. Exhale, pulls knee to nose, stepping that right foot through to a low lunge. Now, if you're using blocks, you could grab those up under the hands here. Rising up, thinking about the hips facing forward, tucking the tailbone, sending the hips down to find opening through the hip flexor. And with an exhale, let's pull that back to a hamstring stretch, straightening through the right leg, flexing into the foot. Nice, inhaling to take that forward. Exhaling to pull it back. Great, let's take one more here, moving with the breath. Great, meeting back up in that low lunge. If you're using blocks, we'll just step them up towards the top, tucking the back toe to lift that knee, and stepping the left foot in just a step so we can come to a pyramid pose. So extending through the legs, finding length through the spine. Hips are facing forward. Great, let's take 2 more breaths here. Maybe you find a little deeper of a hinge forward with each exhale. Awesome. If you're using blocks, let's release those up to the top, rebending into that right knee, stepping the left foot back so we can come back to our low lunge. Right arm is going to reach up to the sky, opening up to find a twist here. Great, with the next inhale, right hand comes down to plant. Let's step it back to a plank. Exhale the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Great, taking a moment here, maybe finding a pedal through the feet, moving the hips side to side. And from here, we'll go ahead and lower back down to tabletop position. Taking that into the other side, left toes tuck, extending back, starting with those little shifts forward and back here. Now these can be as big or as small as feels comfortable for you. Great, last 3 here. Last 2. And last 1. Slowing that back to neutral, left foot steps over to the right. Exhaling, peeks over the right shoulder, finding a side body stretch. And with the next inhale, left leg lifts to extend behind. Exhale, pulls knee to nose, left foot steps through to low lunge. Grabbing those blocks if you're using them. Rising up, thinking about those hips facing forward, tucking the tailbone, sending the hips down. And with an exhale, pulling that back, hamstring stretch, straightening through the left leg, flexing the foot. Ardha Anumanasana. Inhaling to take that forward. Exhaling to pull it back. Nice, let's take one more round here. This is my favorite sequence to start opening through the hips and the hamstring. Next time you're in your low lunge, we'll pause there. Stepping the blocks forward, right toe tucks, knee lifts, and taking a step in with that right foot to find a pyramid. Finding length through the legs, length through the spine, hinging forward at the hips. Great, we'll take 2 more breaths here. Maybe with that exhale, you try to fold a little deeper over that front leg. Great, finishing off that last breath, let's start to rebend into that left knee to step that right leg back to our low lunge, releasing the blocks, taking the right hand down, exhaling the left arm up to the sky to find a low lunge twist. And with the next inhale, left hand comes down to plant. Let's step it back to a plank and exhale the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Again, finding any little movements that feel good for you here. Pressing strong through the shoulders, bending the knees as much as you need to find length through your spine here. Great, from our down dog, we're gonna travel to the top, taking a slow walk up to meet in a forward fold. Letting the knees bend generously, letting the head hang heavy. Great, we're gonna take a few breaths in our forward fold here. So bending the knees as much as you need to try to find belly towards the thighs. So we have length through the spine. And you could remain still here. You could grab for opposite elbows. Or you could take some bend and extends, which is one of my favorite ways to start opening my hamstrings. With an inhale, bending into the knees, finding a narrow squat. Exhaling to re-extend, trying to keep that belly towards the thighs. Maybe you find a little more length through the legs. Great, we're gonna take about 3 more breaths here, either still or finding any little movements you like in your forward fold. Great, and let's find some stillness here. From this forward fold, heel toeing the feet out the width of the mat, heels in, toes out, sitting the hips down into a malasana, finding a nice deep squat. Hands come to heart center, triceps press to the inside of the knees. And you can always stack blocks underneath you here, or hold on to a chair or object. Great, let's take 2 more breaths here, try to find length through the spine. Great, and releasing the hands, gently lifting the hips to plant. We're gonna step the left leg back to find a lizard lunge. So the right foot is just outside the right hand, sinking the hips down here. Great, with the next inhale, we're gonna take this into a twist. Right arm reaches up to the sky, opening to the right side. And with an exhale, coming into a horizon lunge, rolling to the outer edges of the feet, sinking that left hip down towards the ground, gazing towards the back of the mat. Nice, let's take that left hip all the way down now and turn to face that back of the mat, bringing that right foot in to cross over the left leg, sitting up nice and tall here. So we have the left leg extended, right leg is crossed over. Inhale, reaches the arms up. And with an exhale, backstroking the right arm, opening up to a twist. Great, with an inhale, let's turn to face the back. Uncross this top leg to bring right foot to the inside of the left thigh, coming into Janushirshasana. Inhaling tall through the spine. And with an exhale, hinging forward to fold any amount over this left leg. Feel free to take a soft bend as well, just like in our forward folds, trying to hinge at the hips, getting belly towards the thigh. You could always bring blocks here for under the hands or under the forearms as well. Great, let's take one more full breath here. And with the next inhale, rising back up, recrossing this right leg over the left. We'll turn back to come back towards that lizard lunge, facing the front of the mat, and stepping right up to a malasana at the top. Left foot steps outside the left hand. Hands come to heart center. Triceps press to the inside of the knees. Nice. We're going to take that into the other side. So let's bring the hands down to plant. This time stepping the right leg back, sinking the hips down, reaching the heart forward. Lizard lunge. And with the next inhale, left arm reaches up to the sky, finding a twist. Exhale, roll to the outer edges of the feet. Right hip sinks down, horizon lunge. Great, let's take that right hip all the way down, turning to face the back of the mat. Left leg is crossed over the right. Sitting up tall, inhale to reach the arms. Exhale, backstrokes the left arm, opening up to a twist to the left. Great, a full breath here. Great, inhaling to turn to face the back, uncrossing the leg to bring left foot to the inner right thigh. Coming towards Janushirshasana, sitting up tall through the spine. With an exhale, hinging forward to fold over that right leg. Feel free to find a soft bend in the knee. Great, let's take one more full round of breath here. And with the next inhale, slowly taking that back up, we'll cross the left leg back over the right, bringing the hands to plant as you pivot back towards that lizard lunge. And exhaling to step up to the top. Right foot steps outside of the right hand, malasana. Great, let's take a big breath in here. And with an exhale, we'll take it all the way up to standing. Big squat up to the top, tucking the tailbone. Nice, let's turn to face the long edge of the mat and take a big step back. So we come into a nice wide stance here. Turning the heels and toes out, we're going to come down to a goddess pose, bending into the knees, finding a deep, wide squat, thinking about those knees driving out, not collapsing in. Great, let's take a full inhale here, maybe reaching the arms up. And with an exhale, coming into a wide fold, rising up through the legs, feet turn to parallel. Exhale to hinge forward. Great, and you can stay here or we can work down into our Skandasana, walking the hands over to the right, bending into the right knee as the left toes flex to the sky. Great, pivoting that through to the other side, hands walk through center, take it over to the left knee bends, right toes flex up. Great, let's pivot that back through to our wide fold. Reach the arms out to a T and rise all the way up to standing. Turning the toes to the front, let's step up to the top. Inhale takes a big reach up, heel toe the feet out the width of the mat. Exhaling to come down into Malasana one more time. Great, we're going to take it down to a seat from here. You can come down any way you want, Or if you're comfortably low in your malasana, maybe you just pop the butt down right to a seat and we'll roll it down onto the back. Great, once you arrive on the back, let's give the knees a hug in towards the chest, taking them wide around the ribs. Hands can come to the shins to maybe find a little rock side to side here. Or you can come into your happy baby, flexing the feet, bottoms of the feet to sky, grabbing back of thighs, big toes or outer edges of the feet. Feel free to also play with extending a leg, or even extending both, finding a grounded straddle here. All right, let's find just 2 more breaths. And slowly giving the knees a hug back in if you're in your happy baby. Slipping the hands into the knee pits. Contract the cord around the spine, rocking up to a seat. And thank you for being here for this quick stretch for your hip flexors and hamstrings. If you like this, please be sure to give a like and subscribe. I do a live class every Tuesday evening, and I would love to see you there. Thanks.